Hello and welcome. This is, probably as you know, Ultimate League. We're here for the fourth round of the 15th season of this competition, which is crazy to think about. We are here at the Circuit Cremona, a beautiful circuit in the one of the fine regions of Italy. And you can see, as we've already selected here, on our Italian car of Charge JT in the Scuderia Paracaro. It's really a track that has a lot of character, a lot of texture, and most importantly, a lot of crashing. So, Kader sets. Oh no, Corvid, Jesus Christ, he's gone. I was wondering if we're going to see sub 32. We probably were. Wasn't expecting it on lap 1. Corvid, the Aussie, goes top of the timing sheets. Kader, provisionally the fellow high pinger on the front row. God, that's quite something. Nuno will start third as it stands. Jesus. Right down the back we've got Danimator qualifying 17th, Girouni in 60th, Hernandi in 15th. Surely we'll see him jump up the times. Yes, we do. He goes 4th, Danny goes 2nd. Kubo in his return to Ultimate League, racing his first race since his last one. Jumps up to 3rd place. That means Kader down to 5th, Nuno down to 6th, which wouldn't be a great starting position for the man who is looking to absolutely fly ahead in the championship. This season. Buda not having attended last race, he's not here today either. The Rapid Motorsport team refused to comment on what's going on here, but something we certainly can comment on is the pole position, which will go the way of Kader. Phenomenal from the Colombian driver. That is quite something to see. Kader, I believe for the first time in his career, although maybe not, I don't quite know. I think so. For the first time in his career, let's say, he's on pole position for Fox and Goose Racing. The Challenge League champion of last season has absolutely pulled one out of the bag there. One of 4 drivers to go sub 32. Corvid was another. He'll start 2nd. It's a Mayhem Racing tie. They'll start on the 2nd row. We don't know what order in. Danimator ahead of Kubo, at least on my timing sheet. Hernandi just misses out on the sub 32. He'll start from 5th. JT will start from 6th position. Then it's Nuno starting down in the lowly depths of 7th. Just ahead of Sexy Digger, our P2 runner in Challenge League earlier. Kraft starts 9th, ahead of Rams, who puts in a good qualifying time to round out the top 10. The Anti-Amazing will start 11th for Nordic Thunder, just ahead of Figuera, our winner in Challenger League. Girouni starts 13th for Rapid Motorsport. He'll be ahead of Grandy. Then it's Urist, X610, making his return to Sunday League / Ultimate League for the first time in 7 seasons. Great to have him back. He starts in a link sandwich with Flicks in 17th and Ruski in 18th. The whole grid separated by 0.78 seconds. Fascinating. Great qualifying. Goose, if you're with us, I'd love a word from you. If not, then don't worry about it.
The word in the paddock earlier today was that Kader was not feeling particularly pacey at all on this track after having good TT times earlier in the week. So this is out of left field. If he's not pacey, then the rest of the UL grid's lucky, because it'd be no contest if he was.
Yeah, well, let's hope that his pace will improve in the race. Can go on to see him take his first ever victory. That would be quite something, wouldn't it? He's a very pacey man in general. He had a good last season, actually. Very impressive. His best finish 4th place in the final round at Adelaide. This season he's yet to get off the mark, but no doubt he will do in absolute style with a pole position here, the FGR de River. It's interesting as well. Danimator in here as well. If you look at how he's doing standing so far this season, only 7th. He's missed a race as well. So he's not been off to a flyer, yet to get on the podium as well. Nuno looking to recover from his DNS, but Hernandi's our championship leader. Sexy Digger currently in 2nd, ahead of Nuno by 16 points thanks to that DNS in the 2nd race. Engine failure on the starting grid. We are almost ready to get going here in Cremona. And now it's time. 45 laps face these brave drivers. 5 lights on. We're underway. Corvid with a slow start off the grid. Kubo and Danny immediately looking to go round the outside. If they can manage it, they do. Corvid down to 4th off the starting line. The two LSAs looking to have a go at JT. Any crashing in the background. A huge lag rocket here. Let's hope they get out of it safely. Anti-Deep. Nuno and 60 Digger wide. Nuno will go all the way down right to the very back of the field. The Lynxes and the RMCs, the only cars behind him. Corvid now leads. Danimator, then Kubo, JT, then Hernandi, Cada, then Figuera. How close are these drivers all going to be to each other? Well, we'll see when they come out of this corner. Very close indeed. Kubo just ahead of Danny for the time being. Then we'll see. Oh, surely someone goes off the track here. Cada is down a couple positions already up the inside of Andy. He tries it. Figuera also in this fight. We got the two SCPs just behind them. The two Mayhems, though, running very well. Up in 2nd and 3rd for now. Kubo's first race for Mayhem, I believe. Nuno has already recovered to 9th. He's ahead of the Nordic Thunder cars in a big train, starting with X610. It's Rams, then Jeru and Flix, Ruski, and then Eurus in last place. Corvid leads us away. Kubo, then Danny. Goose, your thoughts on that race start?
They're definitely making it exciting, and it was interesting to see how many people fell down through the order. We've got the likes of Nuno and some others need to climb back up and do it fast.
Absolutely right. Our top 3 in this championship were all on the podium last time out. Will that be the same? Danimator goes for a daring double overtake up the inside, and he does get it done. Fantastic racing by the German driver. He sets his sights now on the Aussie up top. And Andy still in there behind. Danny makes a mistake, though. He's going to go side by side with Kubo. He concedes that position and immediately falls from 2nd down to 5th. Such is the tightness of this pack from from 2nd all the way down to 8th position. We've got groups forming behind as well. Nuno, 60 Digger, two of the top drivers in the championship, but at the moment not on the racetrack. Grandy and the NT Amazing going at it very much so. 11th and 12th they are. X610 in 13th in that Neon Sunset car, pretty much by himself. Ruski has made his way up from the back of the grid to 14th. Jeru sticks around in 16th for the time being. Hernandi and then Figuera. It's been an interesting season for podium sitters because 60 has been on the podium every single race. No driver. Well, we've had Anandi on the podium, 1st and 2nd place. Nuno 3rd and 1st place. Nabuda win and a Kraft 2nd place also to supplement that. And Andy looking to go up the inside of Corvid here if he can possibly manage it. 32.55 personal best lap as he crosses the line to start his 6th lap of the race. It's Kubo ahead of Danny. This can't end well. Look at the SCPs. It's just JT edging Kraft there. Goes really wide. Maybe into the gravel. And he gets double bedoinked by the NTHs. Goes down into 12th position. X610. Oh, look at this. It's a double RMC sandwich on Urist. And Jerry just has to drop back a little bit there. He gets 2 cars forcing up his inside, and he's all the way down to last position. Our medium runners having a hard old time of it, but you can see a very clear separation between the soft and the not soft. Hernandi and Corvid side by side. Corvid's gap has been shrunk all the way down to 0 and into the negatives now. Figuera right up his backside as well. Corvid slides off, makes an error there, maybe Hernandi induced error potentially, and Corvid now down to 3rd. Kubo in 4th as it stands. Yes, it's been an interesting return to racing for Kubo. 15th was his result in the first race of the season. He's not had a full-time seat since season 12. Since season 13. Corvid and Figuera and Kubo and 60 Digger all into the pit lane now. Who else is in? Granty and Anti, JT and Danny, X610 and Nuno all in 2. Yeah, and Kubo, apart from P18 last season, he's not raced all that much. Hernandi actually looking to stretch out, get an overcut here if he can. That would be quite something. Nuno really getting bullied by this pack of cars. Look at this, they're just sort of jumping around him. Anti just backing up a little bit. I think he's just swept Jeru off there, which may be a little bit contentious. Jeru now down to last as Flix gets through on him. Hernandi now in. Where will he emerge in this pack? Right into it, actually, into the side pod of Kubo. 5th place for him. That's not a terrible place to be since there's a pretty much direct slipstream link all the way up to 1st position. Corvid and Figo with a big error. Kubo, he takes the lead. That's the first time he's done that in a little while. Cada up the inside. Can he take it back like he had from pole position? He's going to just struggle in behind there. Corvid right up his chuff as well. Can he make a move? Yes, he does at the inside. Kada gets him back, and he's still in the slipstream of Kubo. Both are still in this slipstream train, and Andy and Figo have not given up the goat just yet. And look at this, Figo just getting pushed around and pushing back in response. The man he fought for the CL win earlier on, Sexy Digger, just trying to pry an opening there. No room at the inn. Kada runs second. This would be a great result for him, his first podium. And it goes through on Kubo. Potentially they're going to go side by side. Neither one of them yielding. Surely one must as they get to the breaker zone. Neither of them do. They go side by side, and that was inevitable. Kubo down to fourth, and he's got two angry purpley cars right on his backside. Sexy Digger goes round the outside. Beautiful move in the end. Jesus. Kubo had to concede that one as well. He's down to fifth position when he was on the brink of the lead there, and that is pretty much nobody's fault but his own. Kada leads now from Hernandi, then Corvid. Our race leader in the early stages has dropped downwards. Sexy Digger holds the fastest lap. Look at this train of cars coming up the back straight. It is a long old back straight. You need good engines, just like the Mayhem racing cars do. Corvid up the inside of Sexy Digger. That's his teammate he's racing. He's got to be a little bit careful there, otherwise Juan will have a hissy fit. Figo and Cubsy Malone going at it for fifth position at the moment. Danimator, ooh, it looks like there's a little bit of contention here. The FLFs get passed by Figo. Kubo all the way down into 8th place. He's had a real drop off there. Nuno in 9th. He is struggling just a tad. JT in a sandwich between the FLFs and the Mayhem cars. And Mayhem is all around us. That's how the feeling goes. As Kada goes through on Hernandi for the time being. Oh, Sexy Digger. He's got to be careful. He's got to be really careful there, because Corvid is no stranger to a bit of push and shove. And speaking of, Hernandi versus Kada really trying to find room when there is almost none to be found. But this is what he does. This is how he does it on his 8 pixels of racing. Figo, though, looks to pry his way through. Look at this train of cars. This is insane. Kubo all the way off into the gravel. Once again, he finds himself coming out. Worst of all, probably the lack of recent wheel-to-wheel experience for the Polish driver. That means he's driving this poorly. Full wet conditions on the way. This is a relief to all those who've stopped once. Rams is in for his second stop. I think he was going in anyways, because he did hit the pit line. And these drivers will all be in. Oh, look at this sliding around. It's like a Bambi on ice as they go through that big, long, sweepy hairpin. You shudder to think what's going to happen in these final chicanes. Sexy Digger and Figo side by side, and Sexy Digger takes the place. Very rightfully, Corvid cuts the pit entry, but just about gets in ahead of the likes of JT, Danny, and Nuno, Kubo, and Kada in side by side. Now, Kada really fell off, plus ratio. JT, 5th place for him on the intermediate tyres. He goes. And that may be a good call yet, because they are very versatile tyres, because they can wear down in drier conditions. They look like they might just be doing that as the track will dry out. It's Hernandi who leads from Sexy Digger, which is a bit of a boring result to all the early chaos that we've had, as we are just about to go a third of the way through this ultimately Grand Prix. Corvid and Charge JT, Danimator really in that fight as well, and Nuno, don't discount him, the wily old fox looking for his 7th title this season. He'll have to snatch it out of the bare hands of his teammate as he shoves off JT. Oh, a bit of lag there, but we're all good now, so that's good to see. Sexy Digger and Hernandi side by side they go. Sexy Digger backs off a little bit too much, because he's opened a gap a bit between himself and Hernandi. I believe Hernandi just clipped the grass on the inside of that hairpin, meaning he has done the same. Danny and Corvid went inside just on the exit of that hairpin. Perhaps a defensive move, or perhaps Danny just trying to pick up the slipstream. Corvid is in. This is interesting. But why would Joe come in? Because he was on the inters, which is better equipped to deal with these conditions, whereas now he's on the softs. Good for him, yeah, whatever. But look at Grandy still giving Corvid a good run for his money. On that inter, he's still got grip. Corvid doesn't. These conditions would be prime for the tyres that Joe was just on, but alas, he's decided to forfeit them. Now we finally will get the benefit of the soft. We'll see how he comes out relative to that sort of top 5 pack that he was in earlier. Sexy Digger gets the overtake on Andy on the pit entry. He does a bit of a Lewis Hamilton and finds that gravel trap, and that has not done him much good. We'll see now. JT coming through, Corvid coming through on the sauce. Look how many overtakes they're going to get. But actually, relatively disappointing. I don't think it was the right call coming in a lap early there. Goose, come in at any time you feel like if you want to, by the way. But for now, we've got Nuno leading
Just
Danny.
absolutely fantastic. After Corvid's, start with a 2-second lead nearly, and everybody hunting him down, have the likes of Figueroa and Catter up in the podium spots, and now the usual top dogs, the usual suspects are back out front. We've had a little taste of everything. The race isn't even half over.
Amen to that. Race is nowhere near half over. We have a long way left to go in this Italian Grand Prix, and absolutely anything can happen. That is the beauty of Ultimate Racing 2D. Sexy Digger takes a nice wide line entry. Nuno has somehow spawned himself back up into third position. Danny looking for a move on Figo here. Can he make that work? That would be interesting to see. Mamma mia. Yeah, not quite. Not quite indeed. But Figo runs in fourth, Danny in fifth, Corvid than JT, who's fallen off. It's Kubo, it's Antti, and then Catter in 10th. That's really sad. Every single driver has made 3 pit stops, whether you are Sexy Digger out in the lead, whether you are Flix in 18th place, and look at this battle with the RMCs and the Lynx racing cars. Eurus looking to go through. Oh, this is actually great. I'm going to follow this. Rusky going through, Eurus going through. Look at these drivers. Oh, just going wide. The Lynxes come out on top in this particular fight, but will Eurus be happy to sit behind his teammate? Will they cooperate? Look how close he's running Rusky to the inside of the track. Huge defense. Jeru might come through and make this 4 wide. Rusky drops all the way out. Eurus in there. Rusky just hits the grass. I'm not quite sure what prompted that. Jeru's still in this battle though, and he just needs to frustrate these Lynx cars and try and get his way through. Sexy Digger still leads from Anandi, then it's Nuno. Anandi might try and do the honourable thing of holding up Sexy Digger so that Nuno can catch up. The downside to that would be that everyone else would then catch up as well. It's JT and Danimator, 2 drivers who good few wins, good few podiums in the league. Danny, world champion. JT will be eyeing that up in the very, very near future. He's a real talent, that young lad, as he pushes Danny off on the inside. And Kubo now finds himself in a mayhem 7-8. Right behind his teammate is Gader, and then it's Antti, Kraft and Grandi. Rams not running anyone at the moment. X610 and his return to the league, the former Lynx Racing driver, finds himself just ahead of his old team owner and teammate Eurus, who he beat 3-1 head-to-head race record. Jeru looking at a move on Flix here. Can he flick him to the inside? They're going to really tussle it out as they come towards the braking zone of the track that Jeru made himself. Jeru goes into the pit lane. Flix defended there, defending clean air, and now will have to defend from his teammate who shoves him off. Good to see. Nuno, like a shark chasing tourists, has closed this gap and is looking a real threat. 32.67 was 4 tenths quicker than his teammate and the man in second place on the last lap. The top 3 in the championship, in the very order that they are in the championship, are one and the same on the racetrack. Antti in for his 4th stop of the race. He's down now to 12th position. Jeru down to last with his 4th stop. He's decided to take that early and get the hell out of that pack of wildcats. Andy and Sexy Digger. Oh, Sexy Digger's going to go in. That leaves an LSA 1-2, which is not an uncommon thing, but it is a dangerous one. 20 laps left to run following the completion of this one, so 21 pretty much still to go. Danny, oh, Sexy Digger in, Figo in, Corvid in, Kubo in, Kader in, Kraft in, lots of C's on the grid. So how the championship used to be. Cubsy running out in 8th place. The top 3 have not pitted for a 4th time. They are Hanandi, Nuno and Danny. Sexy Digger up the inside. Look at the grip advantage that he has. The Latvian in the pink and blue car. Up the inside of Danimator, the LSAs will double stack, and great double stack that is. Hernandi takes the hards. I think he's going to switch with Nuno and let Nuno through on the pit exit, which he does, but the undercut from Sexy Digger has allowed him that position, and also the switch of the LSAs on the pit exit probably cost them a couple tenths as well. That means that Sexy Digger now has a tidy little lead, but that lead is over Nuno chasing after him, who has shown a little bit more pace than Hernandi in the way that he's come back through the field. In the last 10 laps or so. JT yet to... Oh no, he has pitted for a 4th time, but he pitted quite early on actually. Earlier certainly than the likes of Corvid and Figo and Kubo and all that lot. And Kader, 8th place at the moment. Danimator's found himself stuck in this little pack. Anyone not come in? Oh no, everyone has come in for their fourth stop. This is a bit weird. Normally you don't see this, but everyone is on their fifth stint of the race, whatever tyre they may be on. Good microcosm of it. Soft, medium and hard for the runners edging the outer reaches of the top 10. And then Flix and Ruski. So look at this battle, it's still going. Jeru has really cleared off up the road from them. The man who got, I believe it was 8th place in the end for him in Challenge League. It could have been more had he not had a bit of an incident on the back straight. Look at the Lynxes and look at Ruski benefiting from that. Through he goes. He'll defend from Eurus very nicely as well, very cleanly. And keep that position. 16th place for him, ahead of the two Lynx cars, and another good defence from Ruski as well. But Flix will get a run here. Let's hope that he overtakes cleanly. A little bit dirty if you ask me. They're just under pressure from being lapped by our race leader, Sexy Digger, who failed to win in Challenge League earlier because his pace is not quite there to run away from the pack. But he is looking to run away from Nuno at the moment. He's not doing that. He's 3.5 tenths slower on that last lap. And Andy has dropped back a little bit. Such is the complexion of a hard compound tyre. They are hard, they are white striped, they are bricks attached to a wheel rim. No, that's not how tyres work. They are hard tyres. JT just behind Corvid, just behind Figo. How will these drivers resolve themselves, resolve this conflict that has arisen? Well, we'll have to see. It's a difficult track to slipstream at, actually, because the lines that you have to get, that's not... You get certain tracks and you get certain corners, like this one, maybe like this one, more so the next hairpin that they're just about to go through. That's an easy corner to deal with when you're slipstreaming. You can take a wide entry and then cut in. You can go shallow and sort of ride the curb. You got a bit of manoeuvrability there as Sexy Digger runs wide. Nuno looking for a move. Will he go for it into turn one? Sexy Digger goes wide and just gets bumped off by Nuno there. He's not gonna be best pleased about that one. He's running in second now. Nuno did take that first opportunity that he was given. He's on a fresher soft, in fairness to him. Sexy Digger now just has to hang on for dear life in that slipstream. Will he go for a Rio? That would be well cheeky if he went for one, but he's not going to do it because he doesn't want to. Oh, he does! Look at that! He's shoved Nuno off. Was that out of spite? Was it revenge? We don't know. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. He goes into the pit lane, but not in an orthodox way. And on that last lap, Nuno, slower than his best lap by 2.4 seconds. 2.468. He turned in very late. Hernandi.
Oh, he did enter the pits from the outside. Well, from the inside, I guess, which you're supposed to enter from the outside. So that could be reviewed.
Oh, interesting. He may yet lose out here. But Nuno, on track, will lose out to Sexy Digger. And look at the gap of that. Very effective method in making sure that the car that you're battling will be quite a long way behind you. Is just sort of drag them halfway into the pit lane. Voila, 2.5 seconds has opened up now for the Latvian driver, who is just making mistake after mistake at the moment. But needs to stay cool, baby. Finish off that race, and we'll see what the stewards have to say about it afterwards. They may yet decide to not do anything like the CL podium last week. Antti just behind Danny at the moment. Hard versus medium, and Antti having a bit of a hard time of it all. Goes into the pit lane, 7th place. Turns into 8th and 9th and 10th and 11th. The SCPs running on the outer edges of the top 10 might have been something you'd expect in Season 7 with the likes of Cosmo, but Kraft and JT might be a little bit disappointed. They've come in 5 times, so has everyone apart from Denonator and Hnandi in the top 10. Also, Rams is yet to come in for his 5th stop, and the bottom 3 also all haven't. Cheru has and is still running an impressive 15th place, just ahead of Eurist on the much older hard compound tyres. We'll see any efforts made there. Not particularly. Egg6 has had he's had a boring race, hasn't he? And Rams as well. He's just not anywhere near someone. JT right behind his teammate Kada, just ahead of the SCPs, giving each other some emotional support, if not decent results at the moment. Kuba behind. Then we've got Hernandi still leading. Nuno's closed that gap from 2.5 seconds to just shy of 1.5 seconds against the Challenge League driver. 32.65 on the last lap. 0.47 for Nuno. He is closing that gap He's on the hunt. He has the scent of blood in his nostrils. This would be his first ever championship that he's won in a season where he did not participate in every race, because he didn't start or finish in that second round, that very controversial stall on the grid. We don't know what it was caused by. We think an engine failure, but the LSA boys have been very secretive about it. And then not long after, Leviosa just happens to announce he'll sell the team. Work that one out for yourself. Hernandez still leads though. That is something that is very clear. Doesn't need to be worked out. He's on very old hards. He'll be in for one final stint. 8 laps after the end of this one, which would be soft territory for a driver of his speediness. LSA 1-2 temporarily. Can Sexy Digger do anything about that? Does he want to do anything about it? He's just going to sit behind Nuno. Is he not going for it? If you want to win the championship, you've got to go for it. Hernandez is in. He was never overtaken on track by these drivers. Cada B, which meant blue flags back in my day, but now it might mean be careful, or box, probably. Yeah, that sounds right. He's in now. Box and stop, the German word. Box, the English adaptation. He comes out of the box. 10th place for him. Anti then, Figo. JT, flicks with a little off there. Kraft in 6th at the moment. Then it's Cubsy running in 5th. It's Hernandez now down to 4th. He's behind Corvid. That will be a difficult one to get through on unless Corvid comes in this lap, which he does. Nuno 60 to get in, and look at how tight they'll be on the exit. Hernandez will lead. That is an amazing strategic call from the LSA driver. He took the hards. He wasn't overtaken. He came in just a little bit before the soft slap runners. And now we've really got a fight for the win on our hands. Sexy Digger and Nuno very close together on the track at the moment. Just dodging this way and that, trying to find an opening. 6 laps will be left at the end of this one. And Andy heading to the final chicanes now. He may well be in for a race victory here, just as he won by a very long way in the opening race of the season. He might be on the top step of the podium yet again. He was second last race. The winners have been Hernandez, Buda, and of course Nuno, winning in Australia. Hernandez then makes a little mistake there. Nuno with 60 Digger in his slipstream might actually, and now just hear me out here. Nuno isn't in the VC, so he won't, but Hernandez is making mistakes. Nuno is very fast, obviously. He's the fastest driver on track and has been throughout most of the race. He is leading Sexy Digger, who is more than capable of staying in his slipstream, leading him all the way to his teammate. If this turns into a 3-way fight for the win, that could be, in no particular order, Sexy Digger and then 2 LSAs in that particular order. If he doesn't lead Sexy Digger to the holy promised land of Hernandez, he can pretty much ensure an LSA win by Hernandez just staying out in the lead and not having to battle with anyone. Nuno is a driver who loves winning. Of course he loves winning. Do you play the team game here? Back off a little bit. And Nuno, I'm sure, will be more than capable of getting a second place, barring some exceptional circumstances. Maybe Hernandez's pace has not just been quick enough. Look at this. Hernandez led him through. And now 60 Digger looking to capitalise on that as well. We're almost going to go 3 wide here. Oh, that's getting a little bit edgy. Maybe Hernandez will do that team game because of the age of his tyres. He might just try and hold up Sexy Digger and let Nuno run away, get away from them. Difficult thing to do though, seeing your teammate who is looking to bear down on you in the World Drivers' Championship. Just letting him through. He's let Sexy Digger through now. Is he going to settle for third? Is he going to launch a last lap attack? Is he just accepting his pace isn't good enough? He's dropped off the slipstream now. We have just 3 laps, 2.5 left here, and this looks like it will be, for the second time in a row, a Nuno race victory. He got 2 in a row last season, did he? I think he might have. Yeah, last season he got 2 in a row, but those were his only 2 wins of the season, around 6 and 7. I think he's looking pretty good for 1 here today, unless Sexy Digger could still do something about it. Remember, same tyre age, they came in at the same time. He was only 500 slower on that last lap, but look at how close he's getting. This could be the first ever race victory for the Latvian driver, the first ever race victory for a Latvian driver. Carry on the tradition of Baltic drivers doing amazingly up against the likes of Nuno Hernandez, but I don't think he'll have the beans for it in the end. I think that is fundamentally what's happening. We'll have a quick look. 13th place and 12th are Grandi and Ram. 6. Oh, whoa, wow. Look at this. RMC's fighting Euros. This is a real feisty battle at the back. But as we are on the final lap of the race, that gap is still about 8 tenths. He needs 3 tenths in these next 3 corners, and I don't think he's going to get that. Not personally. He's really close to being in the slipstream, but he's just outside of it. He needs a perfect turn. It's not going to happen. Nuno, barring a big mistake at the final corner, is looking for the 2nd time in a row, as he will do now, coming out of the final corner. He wins the Italian Grand Prix for LSA. Sexy Digger takes 2nd, Hernandi will take 3rd, and just across the line, Corvid ahead of Kubo, who recovered really nicely. 4th and 5th for them. Figuera takes 6th, then it was Kraft and JT and Anti all across very soon. Cabba takes a top 10 finish, but starting from pole, he took the point for that. He would have been hoping for a bit more though. Danimator through. Oh, Rams and Grandy, the Season 8 debutants, going at it here. Maybe Rams was Season 7, but still drivers of an old era, still very much fighting it out. And speaking of Season 8 drivers, it's a real throwback. Rams and Grandy, former teammates, next extend just a little bit behind them. Urist, oh dearie me, what is he doing there? That's probably going to be 15th and 16th for RMC, 17th for Urist, and Flicks just wiggling his way down the back straight. He is the only driver still on live track. Risky may that yet get a warning though for chatting. Who knows? As Flicks finishes off here, we'll run down the full final results. It's Nuno who wins here at the Circuit Cremona. Sexy Digger ahead of Hernandi, and then Corvid. Good race for the Flow Forces and the LSAs. Kubo for Mayhem in his first race for them, I believe. Something like that. One of his first races for them takes 5th, and it's Figuera. 7th and 8th for the Scuderia Paracaras. They do take the fastest lap in the hands of Kraft. It's Anti. Then Cada. And then we have Denimator outside the top 10 today, and by a good few seconds as well. Despite running high early on, he's just ahead of Rams. Then Grandy and X6, Ruski and Uris Jeru, although I'm sure that'll be disputed. And then Flicks finished just shy of a minute off the race winner. We'd love a bit of Goosey to give us the rundown of how you felt about that race. Game on, Goose. Or no. Right, we might go straight to interviews then. So, we'll see who we have in the chat. Nuno, our race winner. Tough fought one, but he did well in the end. Came back from the deep depths of the gravel on the pit entry to win the Italian Grand Prix. Congratulations.
Man, fucking Christ, I'm still processing what happened. Because this was a very tense race. The start, I have a bit of an incident with Sexy Digger. I got a little bit pushed out, but dropped back to 13, and then it was a very chaotic start. I think I have a bit of a moment with Tanti. I hope I didn't push him there. That final section, those final 3 corners are so chaotic because of the cuts. When someone's slipstreaming, they are going with much bigger speed, and it's kind of hard to know what to do when they go side by side into that turn. But yeah, somehow I pick up a few places one by one. I don't even know how I did it. It was probably one of the big comebacks I ever done. I was down. I don't know where. I was outside the top 10, I think, at the start. And yeah, I'm pretty happy to get it. I really wanted to win here. I feel like I had some of my old back, I think, from the past, and yeah, and it was so freaking close. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I just screamed as much as I could at the end, celebrating the win, because that was something else.
It's an amazing track to win on, and yeah, I can confirm I think you were down in 14th or 15th at the very start of the race, so amazing comeback from you. Well done.
Thank you.
We will go on to, we don't have our P2 man in the VC, we'll go straight to Hernandi. 3rd place for you in the end. It looked like for a second you might have grabbed the win there. Run us through your race.
Similar to Nuno here, but a bit better start. It was crazy there. I should have pitted on lap 7. I pitted on lap 8 and got followed back to 5th, and then rain came. That didn't help me. forgot to pit, like genuinely. So that's a mistake, and in the end I put that hard stint almost perfectly, but the soft stint had a lot of mistakes, so that's where it went away. I think I could have pulled it off, but it wasn't my day.
Yeah, there was a point at the end where it was Nuno and Sextiga behind you. Do you think that potentially there should have been a bit of team game there? Nuno holding up Sextiga, allowing you to go through for the win as the championship leader?
No, actually, we switched with Nuno into turn 7 there, so it was
Yeah,
maybe the other way around.
when I got up to him, I was like, please, let me pass, and then he let me pass there. Thanks a lot, by the way. And
No worries.
it was just that he wasn't really supposed to lose my slipstream
Uh,
and fall behind or like slow down 60. It really just happened. And I think he made
yeah,
like
that
one mistake
mistake
which allowed me to get away, and that was
slowed both
very,
me and Six wide down. It was crucial for Nuno. It
yeah,
was an
certainly it
accident.
was.
But yeah, I put the team first, so I wanted the team to get the win, and I knew I wouldn't, so I wanted to get Nuno winning.
Well, maybe some team games going on at LSA there. Maybe Nuno unfairly prioritised. We'll have to wait and see for the articles that'll come out on Monday morning.
Yeah, thanks.
Well done anyways, good podium man. Do we have Corvid in the VC? Of course we do. Corvid, 4th place. Actually, fantastic drive from you in the end. You just edged out Kubo in the end. Tell us about your race.
Well, yeah, I got a really good launch at the start, and I was a bit nervous, honestly. The first few laps were really shaky, and I could have easily gotten a really big gap opened up really quickly, but I fell back into the pack, and I just was in that fight for a long time. I had a really bad outlap on the softs. I was still on a wet track, I believe, and it was just really dreadful. And then I lost more time with that, and then the rest of it was just holding to the position from there, which I was happy I was able to do really well. Didn't really make too many mistakes. Pace was consistent. I wasn't able to get too close to the guys in front, but otherwise it was a very solid race.
Yeah, you really you did very, very well at the start. Chances for flow force in the championship now, 2nd and 4th is an amazing result. Do you think that's P2 well on the way?
Well, there's still a long way to go, but we're looking really good for it. And if we can keep scoring points like this, then there's no way we can't do it. Pretty much.
Congratulations, well done. Finally, I'd love to go to Kubo. Your first proper race back, really, since you had last held a main seat. I know you sort of had a couple, but this is the real Kubo back.
Yeah, it was great to be back. Great driving with everybody, honestly. Really clean, and just it was very stressful though, especially fighting for the lead. Then I fell to the edge of the top 10, but I'm very happy to get back up to P5. I thought the pace was really there, and I can't wait to race some more.
Are we anticipating more Kubo this season? More races where Daniel Ros will be out? Any tracks in particular?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll be I think I'll be available nearly every round. So if Mayhem have a full lineup, you know who to call.
I certainly do. Great. Perfect. Right, we'll end it off there then. Thank you so much for watching. I apologise about my mic quality today. It has not been on top form. But a lot of our drivers out there have, and we can very much applaud their performances. We'll be back for next week at one of the all-time driver favourite circuits in Ultimate League, Montevideo, our final track, the big sweeping turns of the Uruguayan circuit before we head into the mid-season break. Until then, bye-bye.